Amen. Mount Pleasant Baptist Church and friends, we're so excited, so excited right now to share with you our blue carpet teen talk. Here we are. To our right, we have Miss Jasmine, my right-hand lady, who helps out with almost everything, and she's going to be a great part of this show today because I'm going to be all over her. And then next to her, we have Mr. Tristan Moss, a very interesting cat. He got A's and B's this year too. So he's gonna give us a different perspective. To my left, we have Miss Hanna White, my beautiful, beautiful wife, who I am now in debt with, which I'll go through that later on. And next to her, we have Mr. Janako Cersei. Janako, we'll let him get into his story a little bit later on, but he's also a straight A student at Wesley Middle School right now. So we'll get into who they are and their story a little bit later on. But just to get it kicked off so that you know all of the names, that's our panel for today. And our lesson today, our conversation today is going to be about love and relationship. I'll say it again. We're talking about love and relationships. So we'll start to my right because Janako might not have no girlfriend. But we're going to start to my right, and we'll start out with a softball question. Miss Jasmine, what is your relationship status?
Right now, my status is single.
Ooh. Hey, all my partners, y'all out there, y'all watching. Y'all watching now. We got a single one up here. Tristan Moss, high schooler. What's your relationship status, buddy?
It's cool.
You say it's cool.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Just a lot of cool.
A lot of cool.
Yeah. Complicated.
It's complicated. Why you got to speak in that mic, man? You say it's complicated?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, y'all girls, y'all see that. Don't melt with that joker. You talking about you got a complicated situation. And what is your relationship status, if you don't mind?
I am happily married.
Whoo! Well, listen here. She say she happily married. Hey, y'all, that's the day now. Last week I was in trouble. I was in deep trouble last week. Janako, you got a relationship status, man? No? Not now? Nothing? You don't even know where to start with that, huh? No. All right. All right. So, man, we'll start off. We got a few questions out here that we've conjured up. And I think our first question is, now we'll pitch it to Miss Jasmine, and then we'll rotate off of that, is right now, how do you define dating?
I think defining dating for people my age is a little complicated. Growing up, it was simple. It was you and a person are going out on dates, possibly committed to each other, but you're just going out on dates. Nowadays, there's so many definitions. You got dating, you got talking, we kicking it, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get caught up in that we kicking it stage. So for me, dating is me and one other individual, and we are going out on dates to get to know each other. We may not be in a committed relationship, but we're getting to know each other.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. You just said you dating just you and one other person, but you're not in a committed relationship.
Yes, I mean, like you could be dating more than one person at a time.
Okay.
But
when you date, it's just one person.
No, not necessarily. It just depends on the season. Sometimes I might be dating more than one person.
Oh, that mess.
But I think a big part of dating is to be honest about where you're at in your dating and to ask those questions so that you know where the other person is.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How do you define dating?
I don't know. It's just chilling.
Just chilling.
He talking about that kicking the stage. Y'all.
That kicking the stage. Now, when you just chilling, do you just chill with one girl? You just chill with 2, 3 girls? How do you, what's chilling? What that mean?
Should I plead the fifth on this one, Twin?
Nah, you can't plead the fifth on that one. What just chilling mean, bro?
Just chilling mean just chilling for real. Like, it's not too much going on. Like, you just talking, chilling.
Oh, so when you date, you just chilling. So you can just chill with multiple girls, one girl, two girls, five girls. What just chilling?
You just chill. Is how many of you choose? What pleases you?
Okay, however many you choose. Okay. What about you? What does dating look like before you was married? What does dating look like?
I agree with Jasmine. I think there's phases to dating, and it depends on where everyone is. So I think, you start out getting to know people. You could potentially be dating multiple people to get to know different people, see kind of who you mesh with, whose values you align with the most. As things get more serious with someone or someone else, then you just make sure you're communicating with the other people that you're dating to make sure everybody's aligned. And then dating becomes more serious with one person until it progresses to engagement and marriage.
Oh, so before me, you were dating.
Playing the field.
You were playing the field. Oh, that you hear that mess? Oh, yeah, that mess ain't it?
My name Bennett.
Oh, your name Bennett now, huh?
Yeah, I ain't in it.
Sheesh.
I mean, you may get to this later, but once we went out, I mean, there was definitely something different and special even after our first date.
Well, I'm gonna let you tell them how cool I am later on now. Hey, I'm gonna let you get into that now. Hey, Reverend White, the man now. Hey now. Hey, Janago, what dating look like to you? What they told you dating was? Because you might not know. I know you want to take the fifth, but what they told you dating was?
Oh no,
If you had to guess,
cause I be working on my schoolwork.
oh, you were working on your schoolwork. You don't be looking at the little girls walk down the hall.
Dope.
Ouch.
You vouch. You don't even go to the same school. You sitting over here talking about you vouch.
I do. I just like what happened was I just vouch.
Oh, so you know something you don't want to tell her. That's what it is. What happened was, man, listen here. Well, I know when I was growing up, I looked at dating a little bit different. I thought like dating and being in a relationship was two different things. Like I looked at those words like very clear cut difference. So you had like if I'm dating a girl, like I could be dating everybody. Like dating just means we're hanging out. Like it's an action word. So like, we went on a date. We went to hang out. And so if I'm just dating at this moment, I'm kind of playing the field, right? And then if I'm kicking it with somebody, that's like that transition. Like you can't kick it with more than one person. Like when we just kicking it like, if I do kick it, you can't have more than two. Cause kicking take time and money. I can't kick it on the budget I was on growing up. So I couldn't take 5 or 6 women out on a date. Like I could take 1 or 2 of y'all.
Can't relate.
You can't relate? Boy, your pants too tight to have some money now to take all them food. Boy, you better get out of here. This boy crazy.
Can't relate.
But when you were in a relationship, now that's me and you, player. Like, you know what I mean? But when I was in high school, I was jelly though. You ain't finna be walking down the hall with no other dude, all that old other foolishness. Now we ain't finna do that now. I'm gonna catch up with you. I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm gonna walk you down the hall, tote your books, meet you at the class. When you get out of class, I'm gonna meet you back at class. I was that kind of guy. You just got it late. I've been like this.
Hold on, we gotta catch something that you said over. You said that's what?
I ain't saying nothing.
I think he said
He
that's
called me a simp.
that's simp. That's so. Let's
He called
talk.
me a simp.
Let's talk about that. Why do y'all think that that's being a simp? What's a simp? What's the definition?
I'm
of a
not
simp?
chasing no girl in the hallway to get her hand.
Say it loud so they can hear you. You ain't chasing no girl.
I refuse to chase a girl in the hallway to get her hand.
And that's a lot of the mindset that's out there now.
I'm so sorry, Miss Jasmine. This is what you got to deal with.
The girl has to chase me down the hallway to
Chase
get my
you.
hand.
Sheesh.
I refuse.
Janago,
Give me a voucher. Please give me a voucher.
please don't grow up like this gentleman.
Give me a voucher. I just vouch for you. Vouch for me.
So, Tristan, I'm curious. Do you think women should lead the relationship then? Are you prepared to follow the woman that you're dating through your relationship?
That's solid.
Let me think.
That's a solid question.
Like, I don't know. I don't care.
Didn't think that far, huh?
No, like why would she be able to control the relationship? Like, why would we?
If she has full control over the beginning of the relationship and the pace of your relationship, full control over your attention.
That's the point. She doesn't. I have all the control. Like,
Oh yeah, that's why your relationship status complicated right now. After that was more than enough information.
I don't like. It's just like texting. Like, I don't text first. You gotta text me, and then like go back to real life.
All right, so he said for him, the girl has to text him first. Is that how it is with
With my age group,
with your age group?
I think my age group is kind of in between. It depends on who you talk to. Some men do have somewhat of that mindset. I wouldn't say that they completely would fall in his category. It's more so of a thinking of like, not that I agree or disagree, it's just a thinking of like, men don't want to feel like they're doing all the work, like they're doing all the chasing.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I don't know that they like the word chase. I think maybe what it meant a generation ago is not what it means now, maybe. And maybe that's why they don't like the word. I think the better word is pursue. But a lot of things in our society have made it to where men don't have to pursue. You know, women, I think that's both parties. Men and women have contributed to that. But I think that's what he's getting at.
Oh.
Yeah.
So do you prefer to be chased or pursued?
I mean, my preference would be for somebody to pursue me, because I would want a leader. That's what I'm looking for, you know? So a leader is going to pursue.
The blind can't lead the blind.
But listen, that's why I'm not getting in his car. Because he blind. So I'm looking for a leader. But I also think, you know, it's important to make sure that the man knows that you're interested as well, you know?
And I think that's one way that like the old way of thinking may have done a disservice, because there was such a strong, I guess, notion of the man pursuing the woman, the man always taking the lead, that sometimes, you know, women do become complacent in being pursued and being wanted, and sometimes don't reciprocate that properly or even realize that men want or need that. And I think sometimes men don't realize they want or need that because they're of a certain generation and have been programmed to pursue. And I think they don't sometimes realize that they have similar needs that need to be met. And I think that's where like a lot of dissatisfaction comes from further down the line.
Man, you spot on. Y'all just described me. I ain't got to say that now. But I like the chase. Boy, I'm like Carl Lewis. You know who Carl is? No, you don't know. Usain Bolt. You know him, don't you? But I'm like Usain, Michael Phelps, all of them. I'm fast. I like the chase.
That's bad.
Man, listen, call it what you want. I'm married, though. She gave me some diamonds, too, player. Know what you talking about. But I like the chase. But she right. I didn't know how much I liked validation or to be chased back until I got a little older. I really didn't, because to me, it was all about, I smile every time I see my wife smile, and I get happy every time I see my wife happy. And so because that's the case, you know, I find myself chasing all the time. Even now, after being married, like I like to chase. I want to see what can I one up. I'm gonna one up what I did last year. I'm gonna one up what I did last week. I'm gonna one up what I did yesterday. I'm gonna one up what I did well, I married her, so I mean at the church house, I married her, so I can one up what I did last night. Like that's what I do. I'm a one upper, right? But then I forgot that once she did one thing nice for me, I was like, sheesh, I like this. I like this man right here. They can keep bringing that. So I understand that. That does feel good to know that, that person appreciates what you've done and they're willing to chase you back a little bit. I like that a lot. So next question. Let's see. Like, what is it like dating right now? Like, what's the dating pool right now?
I'm trying to change my mindset. I think it depends on how you go into the situation. It's not the greatest situation right now. If I'm just honest, it doesn't feel that way. It can feel like a challenge a lot of the times, depending on what you're looking for.
So these dudes ain't chasing these days?
I don't know if I like to use the word chase. Pursue is maybe the word.
They ain't pursuing?
Not all the time. And so that can be something that's a little difficult because I know for my generation, I was born in 92, that's kind of the way I was raised, is to have that mindset. And that's not always out there. So it's definitely different. Yeah.
What is it like? What is it like dating in high school, man? 'Cause the way y'all sound, I don't want no parts of that.
The way I date,
Just everybody in high school, son. All the people.
well, shoot, I guess
Talking to Mike.
like boy meet a girl, they like each other, they text on Instagram, go from Instagram to FaceTime, over with.
So okay, that was good information. How do you ask for a girl? What's your line? Like when you see her, you like, boy, I got to have her. Like what's from there? What's your line? How you get her?
All right, first, if she with some friends, gotta get her away from her friends. Boom. Once you get away from her friends,
Speak clearly so we can hear you.
well, let me not say that. Let me just say yo. Like, if she with a group of friends, all of them gonna look, and then you tell them what you want. Talk to her. I don't know what I would say though. It's just depending on the girl.
Depends on the girl. So you just walk up to her and be like, yo, and then everybody look, and you be like, you right there with the hair.
Hey, you there.
I'm more calm. Like, I just be like, yo. Then they just look at you like, you know that look, Janako. They be like, bro, who are you talking to? I be like, I'm talking to you. Come here quick.
Does it start with a compliment?
Yeah, like most times they'll start with a compliment.
Give me a line. Give me a one liner real quick.
If she got white toes, most definitely gotta compliment the white toes.
The white toenail polish?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, with the tips? No. The whole toenail white?
That's a new trend.
She, I ain't know nothing about that. They paint the whole toenail white. It looked like white out on the toe.
Yeah. If the
Y'all
toe,
like that too, though.
if the toes right, gotta compliment the toes, cause some girls be scared to pull they creatures out. If a girl wear socks with Ugg slides, she cannot be trusted. But if a girl can wear her toes out and they lotion, she can be trusted.
Standards are low. The standards are low.
Very low.
All right. The best pickup line you've been hit with.
I don't think I've had pickup lines. No.
She ain't talking to no good dudes.
I haven't had no pickup lines.
So what do they do?
I don't know. It's not pickup lines though. Not for me. That's not been my experience.
So how does one approach you? Like the last dude that tried to get your phone number.
I mean, he would just walk up and just say, "Hey, how are you doing?" Ask me my name. It's not like a pickup line. I haven't had.
No spit game.
I haven't had that. I mean, they walk up and they say, "Hey," and they ask you your name, and your conversation goes from there.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's a different experience out here. It's not the same.
The game all the way different now.
It's very different.
Boys used to go out there spitting lines for real.
Yeah.
Thought that boy was Buster for a second.
Yeah, you got to.
I think we want to know your best pickup line.
Who? Ben Aki shouted.
He
That's
was.
it. Ben Aki shouted.
What?
So listen. They wave for
Me no hablo.
wait. Yeah. Cause see, listen. When I was younger, we go to the tournament. Y'all call the U.S. Open now. It used to be the Youth Internationals, and it was down in Florida. And if you didn't know Spanish, you had no chance. Now back then, it wasn't no Google Translator or nothing like that, so I couldn't. So I learned one.
Can't relate.
Ben Aki, and because I was from Atlanta, everybody wanted to hear me say shouted. So you see the girl, and you be like, "Hey, Ben Aki shouted," and she come over, you be like, "Hey," then you do your dance. They cut the music on, I do my dance, and then boom, it over with.
Do your dance.
You gotta do it. See, that the problem, y'all boy. Yeah, back then, the Latin music come on, and they ain't never seen a real black hood do salsa before. But come on, boy, all the girls, all of them.
Tristan, we have footage of you dancing at those players' parties.
Yes,
I'm just.
yes, and know that he's gonna edit this before we release it, so we can put it up there in the footage.
No, we don't gotta do that.
Oh, okay. I was just checking.
We just
I was just checking.
gotta.
I was
We don't gotta do that at all.
So what for you? What is the difference between dating and the fun part of dating before marriage and dating and the fun part of dating after marriage?
I think dating before marriage is about getting to know somebody and finding things to do together that will bring out their best qualities and commonality that you have. But dating after marriage, I think, is more about like building like core memories, like building your life, building the experiences that like become your story as a couple. So like dating before, when we were first dating, like it was a lot of meals and like games, like so we could kind of play and get to know each other and be competitive. But now it's like traveling and trips and unique experiences that like kind of form our story, like both together and with our son.
I feel like it's still meals and games. They just cost more now that women.
Because you got an extra.
And the gloves are off. We are way more competitive now.
They sure is. They've been off. They've been off for a long time. That's for sure. Man, Janako, what do you think about marriage? Like just from the bit of information that you've ever heard or that you see or that you've seen from other people, whether it be from me or from whomever, what is your opinion about marriage right now? Make sure you speak in the mic.
I don't know. I feel like in marriage, like if you find like the right person, like you actually have a happy marriage. Like some people like have like halfway happy marriage, but with y'all it look like y'all actually like have a happy marriage.
Okay. Yeah, we like each other in front of y'all. Oh man, anybody got a question for me? I've been throwing questions at everybody. Anybody got a question for me?
I mean, what are your thoughts on marriage? You're in a marriage, so what are your thoughts on marriage?
Man, you know what? There's two major things, and I'll try to say them really quick, that I think about, like marriage versus not being married. I feel like not being married is like, it's almost like riding the car recklessly. Like I'm trying to get to the same place, whether I'm married or not. I want to be happy at the end of the day. But when I'm not married, I get to drive recklessly and weave in and out of traffic. And so you get that excitement, that rush. And you also run the risk of running into the wall too. You know what I mean? Like you don't really know how this ride is gonna end when you're not married. And that's fun for a while. But then when you're married, it's like driving a car under the speed limit with a car seat in the back. It's like, I know where I'm going. I know how I'm gonna get there. And I'm gonna cut on a nice song and enjoy the ride until I get there. So I'm trying to get to the same place, but what I'm looking for on the way to that place is different when you're married and when you're not married. So it feels different, my day to day, knowing that I'm gonna go to bed next to this person and wake up next to the same person for the rest of my life is one thing. Driving that car recklessly, like
The experience. Because it's just you in the car. But now you've got somebody else, you've got a kid in the car. It makes sense.
and that kind of segues into the second thing, which is one gives responsibility. Like one, I do things because I want to, but then when you're married, you do them with the underlying obligation. You know what I mean? Like it. When we first got together, she said, "Oh, I want you to go to the store at 12 o'clock." I mean, we first got together, so I was excited. So I'm gonna go at 12 o'clock. I know I got to bring it back, so it's gonna be a good time. But you know, when you get married, she say, "I want you to go to the store at 12 o'clock." Like now, I didn't get an option. There was no options. Like it was at 12 o'clock, I'm going to the store. Like there is no. I could at least negotiate before I got married. Hey, can we do this tomorrow? Or none of that. Now, ain't no negotiation. You're married, so I'm obligated to make sure that she's happy. That's part of that chase.
It's no negotiation for you.
Yeah, that's why you ain't married. That's why you ain't got no girlfriend. What you talking about, boy? So yeah, that's kind of for me the easiest way I can sum it up is like one is like just driving the car as fast as I can, as reckless as I can with nobody in the car. Like it's exciting, but it's also reckless. But the other is under control, and I'm still having a good time because I got the radio, I got people in the car. We can play road games, we can play I Spy, we can do all of that. And your fun shifts from one place to the other.
Okay. Well, I have
I
another
don't
question.
rock with it.
And this is a good question for Janarko and Tristan. And maybe you guys can jump in too. How do you guys think we got to the point of where your generation now, when you made the comment earlier about, you don't want to be called a simp, or it's not a good thing to be a simp, right?
I didn't say it's not a good thing. Well, if I said that, I didn't mean to, but it's like, for me, being a simp is not me. I don't.
How do we get there? Yeah. That's our question.
Like, how
How do you think we got there?
oh, just because I don't have the time or energy to talk to a female enough. Like some dudes got, that's what a simp is. Like, you drop playing sports or you know what I'm saying, and for one chick, it's not the move. Like, simp is somebody who stop focusing on their bag or they get out their bag for a female.
The focus on the bag. Okay. What are you all's thoughts on that? How our generation or their generation got to that point?
I guess the first thing that comes to mind is it seems like this generation is more self-centered than the generations before. And I think social media brought that on quite a bit. Like the focus on looks, selfies, presenting like your highlight reel all the time versus what's real. Everything is very kind of vain and self-centered to me. That's the impression I get of this kind of generation. And I think that focus on self versus focus on the bigger picture, the goal, the long term, is what's caused it.
What about you? What are your thoughts, Reverend White?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think it's the guys and the girls. Cause he made a valid point. Like he's like, oh, well, I don't want to have to drop what I'm doing to chase her. But when I was growing up, man, you ain't drop what you were doing. You chase her, and once you caught her, she came with you everywhere. So like if I hooped, she was at the gym. If I fought, she was at the dojo. If I walked through the park, we walking through the park together. So I didn't really have to drop what I was doing. Like we kind of did what each other did. So it was a easy transition.
I don't even like girls in my space when I'm working out. You know yourself what happens when girls get in my space when I'm working out. So it's not the best for me to have women around while I'm working out. I don't perform the same. Seriously.
I cannot take him seriously.
Well, we know Janako do real well. Some of you may not know, but Janako and Tristan both are national and international champions in judo. They travel around the world competing. They're some of the best judo players in the world. And they both are getting ready to go and compete at an international event in Florida next week, actually, after this is aired. But Janako is very similar to me. When he has young ladies that admire him, that come to the events, Janako turn up. Now, I seen Janako turn up a couple weeks ago here at Mount Pleasant. We had an event at Mount Pleasant, and boy, Janako wasn't playing no game now. Huh? You want to expound on that, or you good?
What happened?
When old girl was here, she was cheering for you. And then we went to South Carolina, she was cheering for you, and you were slamming everybody. You remember what I'm talking about?
That's just what I do.
I love it.
He said that it wasn't no extra motivation, it just worked out that way.
Yes.
Okay, I'm with it. I'll tell you, man, when I met my wife, we would go to tournaments and I'd win, and she'd be so happy, just running down the stairs and just going crazy. Man, we just had such a great time. And the more and more I won one division, then I signed up for 2 divisions, then I signed up for 5 divisions. Everybody going crazy. Now I go out and win, and she like, well, boy, you better hurry up. I got to go to the beach. I don't even get no hug no more, man. I feel bad for myself, to be honest with you. She don't care nothing about me no more. When we first met, I was the best thing since sliced bread. Now, I go out, I fight 20 matches. I can't even get a back rub. You got something you want to say?
In her defense, she is ripping and running, recording us, the real important ones.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know.
All right, now my wife didn't want to do this, but I got to give y'all something to make y'all say this was worth watching. Back up. My son, I'm sorry, y'all, I got to say this. My son is acting a plumb fool out here. He just running around, backflipping. I love him to death. I'm going to let him step on my outro. But sit down, son. Listen, my wife, I brought her to church with me for the first time. And this ain't no secret. Y'all, yeah, we looking at this. We know what it is. She grew up going to a different kind of church than me. All right? And then when I met her, she was going to Buckhead Church. And I went over there to Buckhead Church. And they had the 15 before the hour. And then church service was over before I went to the bathroom. And I'm going to let you talk about it. Tell them how you felt the first time you went to a good old-fashioned Black Baptist church.
I think you did not properly prepare me for my experience. The church I grew up in was from 11 to noon, sometimes 11:59. It is 1 hour. That is all it is. You go to church, you leave. Josh invited me to his church. I was going to meet his family and his sisters for the first time ever after service. So he said, come to church with me, and then we're going to have lunch with my family. So we got a late start. We got to church about 10:30. We got there nice and early. We skipped breakfast. I said, no problem. We're going to lunch just after church. I'm going to be ready. And I think it was about 4:45 when we left church. I thought I was going to pass out. I had no idea church service could be so long. It was quite a culture shock for me. So I never skipped breakfast again before church.
Why
I'm
you
fully
gotta go to
prepared
sleep
now.
through all the hymns?
The hymns are the best part.
Man, listen, the lady. So I go up to Buffalo, and I say I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna go to church with them, right? And man, church started, and then the lady had said 2 or 3 things, and then they got up, sung a hymn, and they were like, "Well, it's time to go." I said, "Well, wait."
We ain't caught the spirit yet.
Ain't nobody, it ain't no shout going on. And the organ player ain't hit the thing, ain't no drum. What we doing?
It's very quiet. We don't stand up.
We
We
don't
don't
stand-
yell. Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Do you guys have a choir?
It's quiet.
There wasn't no choir that day. They just did the congregation. They did a congregational hymn,
Okay.
and then they talked to the children.
Hold on, y'all did a congregational hymn and everybody can't sing?
No, cause it's together, unified. It's nice and fast.
Okay.
The dude over the piano, he talk everybody through it.
Okay.
It ain't
It's very-
special.
Everything
It's
is
just-
very level.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like you get there, you go through service, and you go home.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. I was upset because I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Now the lady, she told a story. Apparently that was the sermon, and I was like, she ain't yell or nothing. She ain't round back, run around. You got to do something later. I ain't going home till you start yelling. Cause yeah. So it was a culture shock both ways. Now.
Oh, wow.
It was a culture shock both ways. That for sure. That is for sure.
Now, did you all get dressed up for your church at Buckhead Church?
So the church in Buffalo, you do get dressed up. Buckhead Church is come as you are. There's people in varying levels of dress, but it's very casual. People come with their coffee. It's very relaxed, and you just kind of come and are there enjoying the moment. It's like a full concert beforehand.
Yeah, no.
A great speech.
She came over to our church. They had the ushers at the door. No, hey, fix your dress, young lady. Hey, yo, give me 2 over here. Put the fan over there.
I wore pants.
She wasn't ready.
I wore
She wasn't
pants
ready.
one time and got some dirty looks. I almost got popped when I
That's
had
right.
a bottle of water in my purse one time.
That's right. We come
It's
here with
very
that
strict.
foolishness.
Very strict.
No, this the Lord's house. You're not finna come in the Lord's house like that. You better bring some peppermints and sit down somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah. So we hit them with that. Listen, I think it's that we got a whole bunch of boats unturned, y'all, but we can't go all day. So we gonna get ready to wrap it up. Is it anything we wanted to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to tell the young men that
Yo, that's crazy.
as the leaders of our next generation, I hope that you guys look inside yourselves and see the responsibility you have to the next generation of families and just humans in our community, and find that leadership and that I guess that strength, and carry that toward your love lives, your professional lives, so that you can be successful men.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave it. I'm sorry. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Yeah, we're not gonna leave it here. We're gonna circle this wagon back around later on in the year. We got a couple other cool things that we want to talk about that we'll be getting into in the near future. We're gonna be rolling these things out, man. Just trying to keep everything fresh and let everybody know what's going on with our youth and kind of give them a fresh perspective on life. But I do want to make a few thank yous out. We want to thank Keyshawn for all that he does, not just with the youth department or with the youth or the teen ministry, but for everything that he does around the church. I know he may not get those thank yous enough, but we thank you. We want to thank Sister Dawkins for the beautiful decor that she set up around here for us, and Deacon White, or Mr. White, who comes over and opens the doors of the church whenever it's needed. And he may not get enough thank yous also, so we want to make sure we thank him. and our entire church family. Listen, when you get this, when you see this, please share it and put it out and tell everybody about it. Let them know what we have going on and that we had a very interesting conversation on today. But for those of you that don't know, I am Reverend White, your youth minister or youth pastor here at Mount Pleasant. And we thank you guys for everything that you've done and for tuning in to our Blue Carpet Team Talk.
If you enjoyed this program, call us right now, 404-688-6680, or send an email to info@mountpleasantatl.org. Mount Pleasant Baptist Church is a congregation full of life and love for everybody. Would you consider sowing an offering? Whatever God lays on your heart to give would be a blessing to the ministry. Thank you for your support. Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, Atlanta, Georgia.